Well, there's been a very strange and very important development in a gas pipeline under the sea near Denmark, ostensibly between Russia and Europe. You'll know about the Newzroom pipeline, which actually takes gas, it transports gas from Russia to Europe. Well, there was a series of what some countries describe as explosions. Either way, there has now a couple of massive holes in that pipeline. This means that those gas supplies from Russia to Europe are being disrupted. Already, European countries are saying this was sabotage because of Russia's attack on Ukraine and Western sanctions imposed on Russia. Prashaen Reddy is a partner at the global management consultant Kearney. He's an expert in the energy and gas processes. Prashaen, good afternoon to you, and thank you for your time. What impact is this going to have on gas supplies to Russia, to Europe?
Well, as you might know, Stephen, and thank you for having me once more on the show. I think, as you know, Europe consumes about 40% of its gas usage from Russia. But only 18% of that actually is made up of its overall electricity mix, by the way. So it is an impact, but it's not, the only energy source that Europe consumes. So certainly this will have an impact. But this is something that I think the European Union has already been planning for in terms of potential gas shortages out of the Russian energy crisis that they're facing into Europe.
So are there other supplies then? They've made contingency plans. Will it just be a price increase, or will it be a more dramatic impact than that?
Well, I think the challenge lies in that you of course, within the region, Norway, for example, is a large gas producer for Europe amongst many other countries. But there certainly could be an increase in supply of gas into Europe. Gas is a very regionalized hydrocarbons. So unlike oil, which is much more globally traded and priced, you find that European gas prices can be very different to Asian, to even the gas pricing we use here in South Africa, which is predominantly coming in through Mozambique. So it's a very regionalized game in terms of pricing. Of course, that is going to put a lot of pressure on gas pricing in Europe as they source more LNG. So they will be, of course, bringing in liquefied natural gas from other parts of the world, but then sourcing increased production of gas where possible within Europe, and looking for other measures to increase diesel consumption where possible. It's not always possible, and other measures to reduce demand as well within Europe.
Is it going to have an impact on our prices? I mean, already industry's been screaming that Sasol wanted to increase gas prices, I think it was by 96%, and they really are a monopoly supplier. Are we going to feel an impact here, or that regionalization that you speak of, is that going to protect us a bit?
Yeah, exactly. So pricing for gas in South Africa is very different to pricing for gas in Europe. So the economics and cost of gas production and pricing here is obviously regulated by NERSA in South Africa, and that is going to be on the basis of our own gas economics, not on the basis of gas supply into Europe. So it's a very different, sort of argument. Of course, there might be pressure placed on the oil market as Europe starts to consume maybe slightly more diesel or slightly more oil, but you cannot just replace oil with gas, because this is they use gas for heating. And you can't just replace all gas pipelines with, now starting to use oil for that kind of purpose. So that's not practical. That's not going to work. So it's a very different market, and I would say our gas pricing will not likely be affected at all. But certainly, what we might find is some of the energy prices globally will get affected by the demand shifts, both in the LNG market as well as in the oil market.
So prices in Europe for all kinds of energy are going up dramatically, particularly for gas, as you point out, but electricity is still there. Are you expecting Europe to sort of invest more in other newer forms of energy as a result of all of this? Or could we find that isn't what actually happens for various reasons?
No, I think this is already on the cards, through the Repower EU Power Program. Europe currently consumes 50% of its energy through low-carbon sources, either through nuclear or renewables already. There will be a continued push for investment into renewables, into green hydrogen. This is definitely being pushed quite strongly by the European Union as well as many European countries. So I think that that would definitely still remain the case. These investments and push to green the energy space is going to continue.
Prashaen, Reddy, thank you so much. Really appreciate it. A partner at the global management consultancy Kearney, and as you can hear, an expert on energy pricing.